Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly live. I'm Christine Josti of Mail Something Pretty, and I go live just about every Tuesday. And so we usually do some sort of card project, although sometimes they're different other 3D items or could be anything really, but generally they are card projects. So I'm glad you're joining us. Thank you. I'm just making sure as we go on live that the sound is working. I think we're good. Just wait for someone to come on and say hello. Let me know where you're from, if you're watching, what you're up to. I don't know, just say hello so I know that we're good, both for the replay and the live. I'm going to make kickstand cards today. Hi, Nancy. Excellent. Okay, good. I always like to see a familiar face or name on here to make sure that we are good. So I have Kim and I have Nancy, and so we are good. And I know it's a couple minutes late. I had to run to Trader Joe's to get something for dinner, and then I had to eat something because I realized all I had was an orange today. So I had to eat some leftovers real quick. So that's why I'm a couple minutes late, but we are good to go. All right. So everything's in my box. It's not, I usually have it lined out good. But let me tell you, oh, good. Hi, Debbie. We're going to jump in. I'm just going to tell you that starting today, no, yeah, starting today. Sorry, there are two things that are starting today. One, for demonstrators, the pre-order starts today. So if you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order things from the holiday catalog, which is pretty exciting. If you want to join to pre-order from the catalog, you can do that too, and you can put those things in your starter kit, which is kind of cool. Let me know if that is of interest to you, and I'll help you get started. But the thing I wanted to tell you is that 14 packs of Designer Series papers are 15% off today through the end of August. Yeah, Kula, Iowa, great. That's, oh, the wide open. That's great, Karen. I know I should have put my fan on. It's much cooler. You can kind of tell it's rainy outside, although now it's a little stuffy in my room, but that's okay. So 15% off sale for Designer Series paper from today, which is August 6th through the end of August. So I'm going to show you some papers today too. All right, so let me switch over. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to show you the kickstand cards. I had just seen them yesterday. So one of the Stampin' Up! Artisan, what are they called? Stampin' Up! Artisan Design team members. I guess that's what they're called. Every Tuesday, someone on the design team shares something, and so I shared it on my Facebook page, so you can go see it. Hi, Cindy. And they're called kickstand cards. So I'd never seen it, never heard of it, and so I thought, sure, let's do it. And so I did it. And we're gonna do it, and I'll talk you through it, and I'll talk you through my things. So, anyways, this is the first one I did. And it's okay. And I'll explain why in a second. But anyways, it uses Designer Series paper as kind of part of the highlight. So this is Full of Life, which Ann and I had showed, well, I think it was last week. And so this is 6x6, but this is one of the ones on sale. So I used the Beach Days Lifeguard House. Ours don't exactly look like that. I guess some do. And Ann was telling me hers don't look like that either. But somewhere in the world, lifeguard houses look like that. So anyways, I colored it. And so here's the kickstand part, right? So this comes up. So there's a kickstand. And the ones, I'll show you another one. The ones that were highlighted on that you'll see on my Facebook page, she had used a circle. I'll go through it in a second. So there was something else that was hidden when that's closed. I was having trouble deciding what I wanted hidden. This to me is like the beach, and this is like the water, and I was struggling, so I decided to leave mine empty. And then that's what you get. So this paper is the other side of this paper. So you kind of want paper that works together. And then I just did that on the inside. So that's kind of a kickstand card. Let me show you this one. In California, Kim says that that would make perfect sense. The lifeguard stations are like that, but you kind of know what it is anyways. Okay, so this one I did the zinnias, right? So I meant to check, but I'm pretty sure that the zinnias paper, I think it's called Simply Zinnias, is still available. It's on the online exclusives, as well as the stamp set and the dies are in the online exclusive. So you can't see them in here, but you can order them Just by even typing in zinnias in the search bar, all the stuff will come up. So here's my kickstand part. And so I just put 2 zinnias. I cut some and I try to copy the coloring. And so this one has a little secret surprise underneath. And then when you open it, then you get this part of the card. So it's like a 3-layer card, right? So you get 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things, even 4 if you want on the bottom. So this paper is the back side of this paper. And I want to show you what I did because I'm watching it and can actually, I colored it and cut it out on white paper. And so what I did is I just colored the background that was white lemon lolly to kind of mimic the paper. So it kind of works. So you only see the flowers. You don't see the white part. Thank you. So I was going to demonstrate this one, but it took me a little while to color. So I'm going to show you something else, but you'll get the idea. All right. So let me, like I said, my things aren't organized. Hopefully I have what I need. We'll find out. All right. So the other part of this card, it's not really a trick, but the other element I think is you need like 3 things, right? So you need something for the front, something for the middle, unless you do like what I did here is I just left it blank. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think my paper kind of speaks for itself. It's a calm, nice water. So something for the front, something for the middle, and then something for the inside, whether it be a greeting or you could do something else or something down here. So you kind of need like 3 elements that work together. So as I was going through my stamps, I don't have a lot of 3 things that work together. So I'm going to show you a new product that you can't order till September, but I'm going to use paper that you can use. So this paper does not go with the product. Nancy's saying, good idea to color the white cardstock to match. Yeah, a lot of times people will do like light blue, which looks good, but I decided on this particular one, I just did the lemon lolly. So you kind of lose it in it. Thank you. I think it kind of works. Okay, so I'm going to use, I actually used this paper not too long ago, the Take to the Sky paper. I do not have this stamp set, but actually this stamp set would probably work great. Let's see, let me find it. I actually think this would work great for this type of card. So I'm going to look up because I don't know where it is. Take to the Sky. Oh, and here's another thing. This is the index on the back of the page, which I always have marked here so I can find it. I think almost every one of these, not the ink-colored papers, almost all of these papers, if not all of them, not the neutrals, not the regals, so not like the solid color packs, are on sale. So if you're looking for the papers, those are on sale. But Take to the Sky is on page 37. I still don't know where things are, but I just use my index to find them. Oh yeah. This stamp set would work great for this type of card because look, you get the big airplane, which is kind of cool on the front. You have the middle, and then you get 2 small airplanes and clouds and lots of words. So this set would work great for this type of card. I'm just going to use the paper. All right, so I'm going to use the cloud paper. So this would be kind of like my front, and the inside is just a gridded gray, or smoky slate, I should say. And we'll see what other color I use. I think I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to use boho blue as my base. So you can kind of see on these, even both of these cards. Well, this one, I cut this designer series paper and this designer series paper the exact size of the card base. So if you're looking at this, you don't even know what color card base it is. I did blueberry bushel, but you don't even know. So on this one, I decided to kind of do both. So this one I cut full, and this one, I don't know if you can, there you go. I did leave a border. So you have the choice. And then you even have a choice on the inside. This one, I did a skinny little border. And this one, the white, I did a full size. So then you're only seeing like this section, which you even could, I suppose, put something on top of it. So you're not seeing a lot of the card base. So this base I'm going to use is boho blue. So we're just going to cut it the regular card size. So I'm going to cut this in half at 5.5. And then I'm going to score it in the middle at 4.25. So that's standard normal. Okay, so that's standard normal. I'm not going to fold it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from the bottom to that fold line over 1.5 inches and do it the same thing on this side over 1.5 inches. And I'm going to cut up. Get this out of the way. So I'm actually on the first one, I'm going to, paper stuck to my cutter. I'm going to do it on this side. So 1.5 is right here. My blade's on the bottom, and I'm just going to cut up to this fold line. So you can, as you go up, your blade actually has a line here, and that center line is exactly where the blade is. So I'm just going to match that center line with the fold line. Okay. And then, so you can kind of see that that's where that cut is, and it goes right up to that fold line. I'm going to do it on this side. So on this side, I'm still going to do it on the bottom, because if I did it on the top, it would be a little bit harder to maneuver. So on this particular cutter, this is a Stampin' Up! Cutter, you could have a little measurements on this side. So where the grid, not paper, but the grid part meets the whatever color this is, the solid color, that's 1.5. So I'm just going to put it right up along that line, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my blade all the way up to that score line. So I have, that's the only cut you need. Depending on time, I might do a part of a second one. So if for people who come in late, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to pull these down. I'm going to leave that one alone, and I'm going to take whatever you use for scoring, your Pampered Chef palette or your bone folder. You're just going to burnish that. I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. And then we're going to cut this. So my card front is 5.5 by 4.25. I'm not going to use a border, so I am going to cut it that full thing. So I'm going to use this cloud paper. So I'm going to cut this, since this right now is 6 by 12, I'm going to cut it this way at 5.5. And then I'll cut this at 4.25. That's not what I meant to do, because now look, my clouds are going the wrong way. Luckily, I have one piece left. So let's do this correctly. I might waste a little paper, but that's all right. So I want my direction of my paper to be in the landscape. So I cut that wrong. So let's start over. 5.5, 4.25. That's what I want. Because I don't know you, but I don't know any clouds that go. I'll use that for another card, but clouds don't really go in that direction, but they go in this direction. So that's going to go there. So I'm going to actually take a sip of water. That's better. And I'm going to glue. All right, so this is where we started. I just folded those down. I burnished those. So now they're down. And I'm going to glue this piece of paper right on top of that. So I'm going to put glue on these two, put the paper on top. I'm leaving that alone. So I'm going to put actually the glue on my card base versus, because I know if I was to put the glue on here, I wouldn't get it in the right spot. So this is going to fit exactly on top, or at least it should. I'm just making sure. Oops. Sometimes the glue slides before it's dry. So That's what that looks like. And that's what that looks like. So just give that a second to dry. And now now I have sticky on the back, but now we can fold this down and push that down. So here's my kickstand. So it actually can sit that way, or someone could have it sit that way. It doesn't really matter. But this is a kickstand element. And sorry, I need to take, I didn't clean off my silicone mat, so it was sticky from a previous project. There we go. Okay. So you can leave this plain, or you can put designer series paper on it, or even embossed solid paper. You can decorate it however you want. I think I'm going to use this paper, and I think I'm going to actually cover the whole thing. So this is, I believe, 2.5 by 4.25. So let's see if I cut this right. 2.5 by 4.25. So this I'm going to glue directly on top of that. But like it said, this one I used a border. And this one I'm still actually going to put glue on this. Because I think if I put it on this piece and I carried it over, I might get some glue somewhere where I don't want it. All right, so that covers that exactly. So really the whole function of the card is done, right? So I have my kickstand piece, I have my middle piece, and then I have my inside. And I'll put some white on here. And then it's just decorating. So for this particular card, did I lose a piece? Oh, no, good. So I said at the beginning, thank you for watching. Watching the replay from Maine is Donna. Nancy says, so easy to cut wrong directional. I know, happens a lot, but I'll just use it for something else. So like I said at the beginning, I didn't have, and I was trying to show you different examples so they weren't all the same. And I wanted you to have 3 kind of elements, the top, the middle, and the inside, versus this one, I just have kind of the top and the inside. It didn't have a lot of stuff that had like 3 elements. And so I'm using new product that will be available in September, or you can order it on the pre-order if you're a demonstrator. It's called Wintry Treetops. And you have these beautiful birds, these some nice sayings, and you have these really cool dies, and the dies cut around the birds, but they also cut the paper. And I will show you. So this paper is not on sale. It's not available except on the pre-order, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. So these birds are cut by the dies, and that's one I'm going to use for a second. And then you just have little blue. You have these like pussy willows. And these ones I cut out by, you can cut the birds out by hand. Snowflakes. And this is just beautiful. So it's, oops. It's kind of wintry, but not overly wintry, especially if you don't have snow. It doesn't have to be snow. They're nice birch trees. There's a whole suite that comes with it. So that one's kind of wintry because of the evergreens. But anyways, that's the paper. So it's not on sale. It's not available for the demonstrators at the moment. You have to have it now. You can sign up and be a demonstrator. But I already cut out my birds with. So this is paper. I did cut out, I stamped some and cut them out, and I was going to color them ahead, but if you were here early, I had to go food shopping and I had to eat, so they didn't get colored. So I'm going to put this on top like that. So the birds are kind of floating in the air. So the one that I shared on my Facebook page, the one that I saw this, she had used, it's a set, I don't even know what it is, but it had a whole bunch of like cute critters. And she had used a circle and did whatever with the critters. And the cool thing about using a circle, then when you lift it up, you have a bigger area, like to put something hidden underneath. So you could hide, like that would be hidden underneath. You know what I mean? Like I limited myself a little bit on this one because I didn't have that big circle. So whatever I was hiding underneath would have to be kind of narrow and skinny. Same with this one. I could have put a circle there, but I like the flowers on it. So this happened to work. It was narrow and skinny and fit under here. But you see what I'm saying? If you had something bigger, you could do that. But I kind of like these birds on the plaid paper. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm going to use dimensionals for this one. Oh, but I'm going to make sure that they are, let me do it this way, just so I don't put dimensionals where they would stick to the clouds. I'll just do one more here. And where are my scissors? Hopefully I don't need scissors for this project because I don't have any. So I'm going to rip it. Oops. I just wanted a little dimensional there. Okay. So I know I've showed you guys this trick, but I have my little bowl to put all my dimensional pieces because they do go everywhere. All right. So this I'm going to put like that. And then on the inside, I thought I would put a smaller circle so this fits within that boundary. But I didn't think that was dark enough. And this paper's from the same pack. I didn't think that was dark enough. So then I thought I would stamp it on white, but I didn't know if that was dark enough. And then I thought this would be good. So what I'm going to do, hopefully it works, is trim it to hide my mistake. And it should, hopefully, line up. Let's find out. So I have this circle that has scalloped edges. I didn't think that was dark enough, so I want to put this on top. So I'm going to line up my scallop edges, and that should work. So what I did is I just, where'd the other one go? The black one. I'm losing everything today. I'll find it in a minute. All right, let me put this on. I'll find it in a minute, and then I'll show you. I just stamped it on scrap paper, cut it out with the same circle, and then just trimmed it. So that is how you fix a mistake. Or maybe someone think I did it on purpose. And I just want to make sure that's within. Yep, you can't see it. Make sure it's straight. It's probably not the best paper because it's kind of light in color. Scoot it down a little bit. But it's okay. So thinking of you. So you get the little bird, you get the thinking of you. And now on the inside, we have this. And we could leave it plain, but I do kind of like it with the white. So I have white paper here. And since I have cut all this kind of flush to the edges, I think I will just keep the same and cut the white flush to the edges. Again, that you can just decide what you want to do. So that would be 5.5 by 4 1/4, so just a quarter sheet of paper. I'll leave that there because I think I'm going to put some other paper on the inside. So this will go on the inside. And I did bring, pretty sure, I brought another piece of paper to stamp on. There it is, underneath. Another greeting. So I cut that. Oops, I'll use that one. In the same stamp set, a friend like you brings me happiness. I thought I would use that. And I think I will use the Cajun Craze. I wasn't sure. I brought up both ink colors. And we're going to put that bird on the inside too. All right. I did bring up 2 pieces just in case. It's not too bad. It's a little off, but let's see. We'll pick the best. Sometimes, you know, when we put our stickers on, it might be a little off. Okay. Close that up. And let's pick a, that's going to go up there, a pattern. So I could put, nope, that doesn't, needs to be long enough. Let's see what's in here that kind of works with birds. We could use the blue. Actually, that's not so bad. That blue. Yeah, no, let's use this one. It's actually a map piece, but you might not notice that it's a map piece. So that's going to be at 5.5. So that will go on the bottom. Once you have this card planned out, it actually comes together on the quicker side, but it's just kind of deciding what fits, what you want to be showcased. And then I have this other bird here. Remember, I had cut out, so I think that will look kind of nice there. So I didn't really mean to show you something that you can't order, so I'm sorry about that, but I don't have all the papers. So I had to find papers that worked with the stamps that I had. I bet some of you have more things than I have. Oops. All right. That looks nice. And so I wish I had a fun edging for that size, but I couldn't find one. Actually, I don't know if I even have one. And you could leave it blank, but I actually kind of like the I'll use the grid paper to make sure it's straight. I actually kind of like the greeting on the top. All right, let me show you again what I just did here. And then it's a little thick because I put the paper kind of flush. So if you need to, you can just burnish that again so it sits flat. And if you need to burnish that again, because it is kind of like 2 folds in there. All right, so here it is, kickstand card with birds. So that comes up, thinking of you always. A friend like you brings me happiness. Oops. There we go. So that's one kickstand card. Here's 2 other versions I showed at the beginning in case you came in late. There's the zinnias. And I put some more zinnias in the middle. And then a little greeting like that. And then my other, this is the first one that I made. I used the lighthouse. And I didn't put anything here. I struggled. So I just decided to let the calming, it's almost like fog, let that be by itself. And then sending sunshine your way because you had that kind of bright blast of color. So those are kickstand cards. I can show you, I do have another solid piece of paper. I can show you quick how I cut it in case you came in late, but I can't really decorate it. Let's see. Karen says, I saw a demonstration yesterday, use the same stamp bundle. Just giving us a sneak peek. This bundle will be the first on my wish list. She used the wintry tree top. Oh yeah, that's the name of it. Sorry, I'm like thinking. That's the name of the stamp set. So yeah, that's available in September with the holiday catalog. It's a fun set. We Stampin' Up! Did an event for demonstrators that it was optional called, what's it called? Creativity Now. And that was the bundle that they used. So I was able to pre-purchase it. All right, so I'm using Cherry Cobbler, standard card base. So that's 8.5 by 5.5. I scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And so what I want to do is I'm going to measure over 1.5 inches and actually make a cut up to that score line. And the same thing, 1.5 inches over and make a cut up to that score line. And that's like the whole key to this kickstand card. All right, so here's my 1.5 inches. My blade's on the bottom. I'm going to push it up. I have these lines right here that I'm going to mark. Let me see if, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There you go. See the line on the cutter edge and the line on the score line. So you just kind of match them up. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Where these two colors, the gray and the darker color, meet, the solid and the grid, that's at 1.5 inches. So just make sure that's lined up. Same thing. I'm going to make sure my line is with my score line. And that is the whole part of the kickstand card. So then we'll do the same thing. We'll put paper on here, and then I'll fold that down, put paper on here, and then you'll have your solid paper for the inside. All right, so let's see. You know what? We'll do this real quick. We'll use this paper. So I'm going to cut this at 5.5. I was trying to decide. Now, some of you would cut 5.5 and over to keep the sheet. I cut the whole thing. I just think it's easier to do. And then I use the scraps. So, all right. So then I'll use that for another card front. So that's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So this, I'm going to fold those down. I don't know where my thing went. I'm going to put glue on that. And I should have made sure that this was actually straight before I put glue on it, and I didn't. We'll have to do. So that goes flush. I love pussy willows. But I don't ever think of pussy willows as winter. So there must be somewhere, but not in New England. They come out in March. All right. So then I can push this down, score that. And then here's the inside with, see, I didn't make sure that that was. I'm just going to manipulate that over. So make sure that you're flush there. I was rushing. See if there's nice birch on the inside. And let's see. I haven't planned for what was going to go on the inside, but I just wanted to show you actually. I'll finish it and I'll color these guys and I'll take pictures of it. But that's kind of the whole key to the kickstand card, is you can leave that plain or you can cover it. You have your middle piece and then you have your inside. All right, so here's this. I thought this one came out pretty good. So I'll show you again the front, the middle, and the inside. Oops, I keep on pushing that not near the camera. All right, so to recap, the designer series paper, there's 14 packs of it. So most of the packs that are in this catalog are 15% off the whole month of August. And if you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order from the holiday catalog. If you just can't wait and you want to pre-order from the holiday catalog, you can join. For $99, you can join Stampin' Up! And even pick some of the things in the holiday catalog to put in your joining kit. Otherwise, you can just wait till September. I don't know if it's 1st or 2nd or 3rd, but the beginning of September when the holiday catalog goes live. All right, so I'm glad you liked one. Another fold to try, says Cindy. Yes. I just saw this fold yesterday, and I said last night as I was trying to decide what to do, I said, we'll do it. So I'll play with it more, but it is kind of a fun card. But I think you just need like 3 layers or 3 things to put on all of those layers. So just kind of look at, see what you have, and then you can layer them up. All right, so I'm glad you liked it. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. If you are watching for the first time, let me know. And if you don't receive my mailing, my emails, they go out every Tuesday morning, excuse me, at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And today's was bigger. It was a newsletter because the beginning of August. You can just go to my website at mailsomethingpretty.com and just sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get a whole bunch of stuff. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.